On October the 28th, all 23 of the first leg starters assembled off Punta del Este for the start of leg 2 of the 1989 Whitbread Round the World race. At 7,650 nautical miles, the journey to Freemantle makes this the longest leg of this 33,000-mile odyssey. It will take our mariners across the Southern Ocean, the domain of raging seas, icebergs, and the roaring 40s, the winds that will reward our crews with some of the highest speeds to be seen anywhere in the race.
Still working, Russell.
Steinlager 2 and Fisher and Peikel were soon to take the lead on a northerly course, with Union Bank of Finland and Rothmans choosing the stronger winds further south. On day 6, Fisher and Peikel swept into the lead, and the battle was on as Rothmans moved into third position. The Antarctic dolphins were welcome companions in the early part of leg 2.
So you'd say one of the most important parts about downwind sailing and heavy wind is keep your calm nerve, and Rothmans helps you do that.
That's right. Yeah? All right, yeah. It's all right until it gets 55. Then it gets a bit hairy.
"11 days of strong winds had pushed Rothmans into second place, but it also started to take its toll on the equipment, and running repairs now started to take on a major role in the daily routine.
Here we are, Southern Ocean, gripping stuff this is. Roaring 40s into the 50s. Cold out heads all, because had a little bit of housework on deck to do this morning. Broke our pole. Now you might ask, why did this happen?
Shags, last night the wind got up really strong.
Yes, we were going along quite well.
Charging along with a 2.2.
40, 45 knots, and all of a sudden, there we were. Laid over on our side, and our pole had a broken leg.
It was just flopping around in the breeze, wasn't it, Shag?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. You sail to the limit down here. This is what you call ocean racing at its best. As you can see now, watch the bow of this go right into the water. And we're off again. Surfing it is. If you want to get the feeling of this, best idea is to put a t-shirt and a pair of shorts on a nice cold day and go out in the garden and get your neighbour. Put the hose over the fence and squirt you down for a few hours. You'll get the feeling of it.
How do you reckon we're going, Shag?
Well, we know we're about second or third. If we keep this up now, I think we'll hold our position. We made about 6 miles on merit. in the last 12 hours in these same conditions, so that's quite pleasing. The Russians did a good run last night.
Yeah,
They're a little bit further north though, so not so cold. Here we go again. Whoa, 25 knots. How is that? I think we're going quite well. If the wind stays like this, I think it's our sort of conditions. Now we'll be going along with the pole our headsail for a little longer today, basically to get our courage back and put the spinnaker back up again. Now the point is that you don't always know when to take it down if it comes down itself, but then you don't quite know when to put it up again. That's the decision you've got to make.
We still got 40 knots every now and again. It's a lot of wind for a spinnaker.
You might notice we're all working with gloves on. That's because we don't want to break our fingernails. Look at the size of those waves up front. Never look behind you while you're steering. You never do it again. Here comes another big one. Off we go. Oh. This is that. Down a mountain. Down the mountain.
With poled-out headsails, but no spinnaker, Rothmans' reduced speed allowed Merit to move into second place. And the following 2 days saw constant jockeying of position between the top runners Steinlager II, Merit and Rothmans, with Fisher and Peichel in the lead and Fortuna Extra Lights in 5th place. On day 13, Laurie Smith's average of 19.9 knots put Rothmans back into second place and was soon to close the gap between first and second to 35 miles.
Well, we're about 500 miles to the west of Kerguelen Islands, and for the last 36 hours we've been sailing side by side with Merit. About half a mile apart at the very most, sometimes as little as a boat length apart. And 10 minutes ago Merit's crossed our bow a boat length in front of us, and now they're down to leeward by 3 or 4 boat lengths, and we're pulling them back again. So it's very, very close racing and quite interesting stuff. Both got exactly the same sails up, and there doesn't seem to be any more than a couple of hundredths of a knot of boat speed difference between us at any time. Sometimes we gain 5 degrees, sometimes they get it back. We've also got Steinlager about 2.5 miles in front of us, and they've been pretty well at a fixed distance from us for 24 hours, so the 3 of us are all very much locked in combat at the moment. Unfortunately, the bad news is that Martel has slipped through to the south of us. They're about 140, 150 miles due south, and they've had much better breeze down there. We're all stuck in a high pressure system at the moment, and Martella's just getting around the bottom of it. So they've taken second place away from us while the 3 of us have been engaged with each other.
Marku Vickery's tactic of taking Martella far south swept her into a 24-mile lead, but the wind was soon to abate, and she dropped back into 8th position. The calmer waters south of the Prince Edward Islands gave the crew a chance to repair a crack in the underside of the boom. An aluminium plate was fabricated and bolted on as a temporary measure until a permanent repair could be carried out in Freemantle. NCB Ireland also suffered similar damage. Sailmaker Russell Pickthall was also soon to be very busy patching the many holes in the mainsail caused by contact with the rigging.
Laurie, how do you feel League 2 has gone?
All right, no, pretty well. We're 3 miles behind Fisher and Peichel. 13 ahead of Merritt and 13 ahead of Steinlager. So far, pretty well. I guess in some ways we could have done better in that we need to make up a day or so on Steinlager and Merritt.
We've had our fair share of problems, Laurie. Do you think we've had more than our competitors?
Hard to say at this point. I think we've had as many problems as our competitors, you know, particularly with broken spinnaker poles and broken booms and broken sails, bits and pieces, but you know, it always seems worse on your own boat. I guess everyone else has had their own problems, but we certainly lost probably 60, 80 miles through breakages. But at least we've not had a major problem.
Other than that, do you feel the boat has performed well?
Yeah, I mean, in the heavy running conditions, I felt we were as fast as the ultralight boats like Fortuna and Charles Redon. You know, on the days, on the runs when we had no breakages, we were clocking 400-mile days. But every time we got into the strong conditions, something was breaking. Otherwise, yeah, the boat's as fast, if not faster, than the rest of the fleet in these conditions.
How have you found the crew's performance, especially in the freezing conditions down here?
Oh, we've all performed pretty well, I think. You know, morale's been good and no one's been complaining too much, but you know, we have been doing quite well, which always makes it easier. I feel sorry for the people at the back who have to go through all that pain and know they're 300 or 400 miles behind, but no, everyone's pretty happy, and 2 days out now you know, we're 3 miles off the lead, so hopefully we'll get there.
On the 27th day, 400 miles from Freemantle, Rothmans went into the lead for the first time, as Fisher and Peichel slipped back to fourth. She was to hold on to a slender 2-mile lead until the morning of the last day, when first leg winner, Steinlager 2, enjoying superb conditions further north, slipped into the lead, leaving Rothmans and Merritt to battle for second place.